Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. East Coast, West Coast, North Side, South Side, wherever you are in the United States and all around the world. This is Bethea's Byte, your home for news, opinions, debates, your voice, and justice served. I'm Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw, and I'm going to thank you all so much for joining me on this week. Single Mama 4, hey, how you doing? Good to have you on. I want to hit up this topic that is disturbing, and I say disturbing because we get this on almost a daily, if not a weekly basis. Just yesterday, we've had not just yesterday, but just the day before yesterday, we've had two in one day, and maybe I can get some amount of four to join me as I talk about this. And yes, she's right. She's already hitting exactly what I want to talk about. Says gun violence and gun control is an important topic. Absolutely. This is why I'm bringing this up here. I mean, we just had two mass shootings in one day, and I tell you, after everything I've seen and I've heard, only thing only thing our lawmakers are doing, and I'm not trying to make this a political issue. They will, but I won't. But the only thing they'll do is offer their thoughts and prayers. Every last one has done the same thing. Okay. Yeah. Anybody that doesn't believe me, trust me. I've got the list. I have the list. Listen, and trust me, the list will sound like I'm gonna be one guy doing the WWE's Usos promo about tag teams that they've beaten during their run as tag team champions. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Every mass shooting, as I stated, lawmakers have all they've done was offer their thoughts and prayers, but they've actually done nothing. Nothing. Here's proof. Louisville, thoughts and prayers. Columbine, thoughts and prayers. Parkland, thoughts and prayers. Nashville, thoughts and prayers. Sandy Hook, thoughts and prayers. Uvalde, thoughts and prayers. Buffalo, thoughts and prayers. Orlando, thoughts and prayers. Sacramento, thoughts and prayers. San Jose, thoughts and prayers. Boulder, thoughts and prayers. Dayton, thoughts and prayers. El Paso, thoughts and prayers. Virginia Beach, thoughts and prayers. Thousand Oaks, thoughts and prayers. Santa Fe, thoughts and prayers. Scottsdale, thoughts and prayers. Sutherland Springs, thoughts and prayers. Plano, thoughts and prayers. San Bernardino, thoughts and prayers. Rosenberg, thoughts and prayers. Waco, thoughts and prayers. 5,000 other mass shootings over the last 10 years. Thoughts and prayers. All that and Single Mama Force says regarding active shooters. Don't get me started there. Actually, I want to get you started there. That's the reason I'm giving you the link. That's the reason I sent you the link, because I actually want people to hear from somebody who's deep in their opinion regarding this. It's like I'm asking right at the top, how long must we go on before we put an end to gun violence? But yeah, I hear a lot of Second Amendment defenders. They're gonna swear up and down a blue street that one party wants to take their guns, blah 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 blah. Again, I'm not trying to make this a political issue, but it's not about taking your guns. I mean, I can see you having a 9mm or a 6-shooter revolver, anything like that. But these assault rifles with the magazine that holds up to what? 30 bullets. Come on now. Let's see. When lawmakers decide to get tougher on the penalties and punishments, you may be right, but here's the thing. They haven't done anything. I just read off the list, and all they've given back was thoughts and prayers. What have they done? What have they done after that? Nothing. The lawmakers when it comes to this, they are as soft as a teddy bear. I'm about to pull up some stats just for 2023 in just a second. You're right. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Hey, just let me let everybody see that for the record, because yes, it's a fact. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Now, let's get a good look at all the mass shootings in 2023. I hope you can see this a little bit better than I can, because okay, here we go. Look at this. This was just, what's today, the 12th? This was just yesterday. That's yesterday. Look at this. Now that ends what? March 25th, right? Guess what? There's more. I'm not saying a word. I'm letting this speak for itself. Oh, and by the way, you want to pay attention to the two columns on the right hand side of your screen. That's the that's the number. As you can tell, that's the number of persons killed and number injured. Now, my question is a simple one. What do you need something like an AR-15 for? What do you need? I mean, somebody made this jokingly. Somebody said this jokingly, that these were the weapons of mass destruction that former President George W. Bush couldn't find. Honestly, I believe they were right up under his nose, and he just didn't know it. Look at this. Now, keep in mind, all this, that's just this year alone, and we're only in April. We're only in April. If it's this bad at this point in April, can you imagine what it's going to be like by the time this year ends? And look at, this is one of the worst ones here. January 21st, Monterey Park, California. 12 killed, 9 injured. But guns aren't the problem. The Democrats just want to take our guns. Miami Gardens, January 5th, 2023, 10 injured. January 1st, another 9 injured. Let's see. She says, I'm a next single mom before. I'm a next convicted felon. I can't even own a gun or be around a gun. I can go back to jail for a very long time if caught with one. I believe you. In my opinion, assault rifles shouldn't even be in easy access to. Again, I agree. I totally agree with you. But as long as they're making it easy access, that means anybody can get it. And I want to make the case for mental health. Fine, I'm gonna put myself in that specific situation in just a second. As he's bad assault rifles. Guns aren't the issue. It's the people who can get easy access to. Yes, ma'am. You're hitting the point. But if you want to make the case for mental health issues, fine. I'm going to put myself in any of these situations. I am diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. Simple question requires a simple answer. Simple question is this: would you allow me anywhere near a gun, let alone an assault rifle? If your answer is yes, you're more foolish than I thought. I'm not sugarcoating this. This ain't the kind of subject you want to sugarcoat. I've had this tab open I had this particular tab open most of the day, courtesy of everytownresearch.org. And what you're going to see is what's been going on for the last, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 years. Take a look at this. This is mass shootings in the United States, period. It tells us that mass shootings haunt our nation's collective conscience. Each breaking news alert floods the nation with grief, fear, and anger at the countless acts of preventable violence happening in schools, churches, parks, supermarkets, and other places where people are going about their daily lives. Look at this chart. This is the number of mass shootings per year since 2015. This was just right here where I got my cursor at. That's just last year, 686. Since 2015, over 19,000 people have been shot and wounded or killed in a mass shooting. In 2022 alone, over 600 people were killed, with over 2,700 wounded. Both the number of mass shooting incidents and the number of people shot in them have increased since 2015, reaching a high of 686 in 2021. Now, check out this chart. See, the bubble size will show the number of shooting incidents, okay? I'm stopping here to catch single mama 4's message here. She says she has mental health issues, but she keeps away from guns because she's not want to ever go back to prison because it's tough on a mentally ill person in custody. I believe you. You're not. In fact, a lot of people will stand right beside you and say the same doggone thing. And that's the last place they want to go. Now, looking at this, look at this. 902 incidents. When every town began tracking mass shootings after the killings at Sandy Hook Elementary, there was no common definition of a mass shooting. In earlier versions of this report, every town defined a mass shooting as any incident in which 4 or more people were killed, excluding the shooter. Since then, research and news coverage of these tragic events has expanded greatly, but the question of how best to define a mass shooting remains unsettled. Different definitions result in different counts of mass shooting incidents, ranging from roughly a dozen per year to nearly 2 mass shootings every day, and encompass different causes of gun violence. Now we define a mass shooting as any incident in which 4 or more people are shot and wounded or killed, and again excluding the shooter. In this report, every town adopts a definition informed by the common understanding of mass shootings, increasingly accepted by most U.S. residents and chosen by many major news outlets and the Gun Violence Archive, the source of much of the data in this report. See this little area right here? This is 99% of all shooting incidents, right? Mm-hmm. While mass shootings dominate media coverage and public interest, they represent a small minority of shooting incidents. Under no definition of a mass shooting would one count the 99% of gun violence that occurred in non-mass shootings. That's that area I just pointed out to you in the upper left corner. Yeah. It's amazing the information you find. Look at this. All right. In the visualizations that follow, we'll identify patterns of mass shootings with similar numbers of casualties. These commonalities point towards solutions that can prevent future such events. This is where I'm almost slightly disagree, because if they have had if they had pointed toward these solutions, we wouldn't have all these mass shootings that's occurring right now as we speak. But then again, that's my opinion, though. All right. These are the mass shootings with fewer than 4 people killed. right up in this area. Now, it tells us to examine in depth what one subset of mass shootings. Highlighted here are mass shootings between 2015 and 2022, in which fewer than 4 people were killed. 3,533 incidents represent 95% of all mass shootings. $3,533. 95% of all mass shootings. Although the vast majority of mass shootings, fewer than 4 people were killed, the human toll of these shootings was nevertheless large. These incidents accounted for over 71% of people killed in mass shootings over this period. Many mass shootings with fewer than 4 deaths resulted from community violence. Community violence typically occurs among people who know each other, takes place in public settings, and disproportionately impacts communities of color. These shootings often receive less coverage and attention because they occur more frequently and take place most often in Black and brown communities. On the same day as the Highland Park, Illinois parade shooting, for example, there were 5 mass shootings in majority non-white communities, resulting in 2 deaths and 20 injuries. Yet they received little, if any, national media coverage. I just got finished reporting about about a shooting in South Carolina during high school senior skip day. An altercation took place on the beach where 6 people were shot. 5 of them were age 18. The 6th was either in her late 30s, early to mid 40s. Structural racism and persistent underinvestment contribute to community violence. Research consistently demonstrates that gun homicides are most prevalent in racially segregated neighborhoods characterized by high poverty rates and low educational attainment. Communities of color are too often places with underfunded schools, poor access to health care and social services, and persistent discrimination in the criminal justice system. Unsurprisingly, these various manifestations of structural racism continue to a disproportionate number of mass shootings in these neighborhoods. Yeah, keep these hashtags up. This is what this is all about. Gun violence we wanted to end, and what we're looking for is common sense. Common sense gun control laws. But all we're getting thoughts and prayers. Newsflash: when children die, what good thoughts and prayers, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm a firm believer in prayer. But praying and then putting that prayer into action, there you go. Common sense. Use it. That unfortunately some people just don't. Proven solution. Background checks. Yes, background checks. Thanks. But here's the breakdown. They said that they're the foundation of any effective effort to keep guns from prohibited individuals. State laws requiring background checks to the point of sale or as part of a permit to purchase system are associated with lower rates of firearm homicide, firearms suicide, and firearm trafficking. Updating federal and state laws to require background checks on all gun sales is a common sense way to keep our communities safe. But will our lawmakers jump in on that? That's the key. Oh, proven solution: violence intervention programs. These VIPs help reduce gun violence by strengthening communities and supporting efforts to make our neighborhoods safer. These programs vary from street outreach workers who intervene in conflicts before they become violent to hospital programs that provide support and services to gunshot survivors to avoid future conflict and more. Now, that takes care of those that we just broke down. That breaks down for all those who have all those mass shootings with fewer than 4 dead. Now let's look at the mass shootings with 4 or more people killed. And trust me, this is a doozy. Yeah. Another important subset of mass shootings highlighted here are those incidents where 4 or more people were shot and killed. Between 2015 and 2022, there were 175 such incidents. While these incidents made up just 5% of mass shootings, they represent nearly 30% of people who died in mass shootings during this period. Among the dead were 246 children and teens. 246 children, teens dead. That's 200, and as far as my opinion goes, that's 246 too many. Even one is one too many. Oh, what? Here, domestic violence was an aspect of many mass shootings with 4 or more people killed. Although many people think of mass shootings as random public acts of violence, this analysis shows that most mass shootings are not at all random. In fact, 46% of mass shootings with 4 or more people killed, the perpetrators shot a current or former intimate partner or family member. 46%. Look at, and oh my gosh. Oh, let me get myself in a position here. Ah. Take a look at this pictogram here. From 2015 to 2022, you have 409 people killed in domestic violence related mass shootings. 409 dead and 89 wounded. Often, children and teenagers are the victims of domestic violence mass shootings. Nearly 2/3 of the domestic violence related mass shootings with 4 or more people killed since 2015, including at least one child or teen killed. Nearly 2/3. That's around 66%, give or take. Now look at this. Many mass shooters were prohibited from possessing firearms. But hey, let's see. In this day and age, violence seems to be an easy solution. And I in a way, in a way, I agree with you. But here's the thing, though. Here's my take on this. When it comes to violence as a way of trying to resolving an issue, and you have no other alternative, we all come with hands. You ball them up, you make a fist. You get one. You get in one. You get in one good scrap, and once that's all said and done, like John Witherspoon said in the movie Friday, you win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. Oh no, not today. No, 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 no. Oh, good to see you too, Fox. Fox, I would love for you to come up, man. My gosh. I'm just going just going over some stats and information in regard to mass shootings, and because of not bring I'm bringing only bringing this up because of what happened just this past Monday. Here's another good pictogram. This one is people killed and wounded in mass shootings where the shooter was prohibited from possessing a firearm. 245 deaths, 117 injuries. Now, somewhere, some way, you gotta believe some way you gotta believe they could have done a lot. They could have done something to make sure something like these shootings could have been prevented. That's what 245 people between 2015 and 2022 that could be seated with their families at the dinner table. That's 117 people physically who will never be the same. Not just physically, but mentally too. Oh, okay. I got you. I see, Fox. I see you. Anyway, still moving onward. By the way, yeah, right. What see that our lawmakers will see this stat and still offer the same thing. Thoughts and prayers. That's thoughts and prayers 362 times over. Approving solutions to close background check loopholes. They say that in the absence of a comprehensive federal law that requires background checks on U.S. gun sales, criminals, domestic abusers, and other prohibited people can easily avoid background checks in 29 states simply by buying guns from unlicensed sellers, including online transactions with strangers. Closing loopholes in federal and state background check laws can prevent guns from ending up in the hands of those who are legally prohibited from having a firearm. Single mama Ford says she's not the same person after being in a domestic violence, abusive, loveless 11-year marriage. I don't think any woman would be the same after that. I honestly don't believe that. Not one, not one. I mean, then on top of it, then on top of it, you have a gun in the house. That's to me is like mixing nitro with TNT. Ah, mass shooters often display warning signs. This is where we got to be constantly. We got to be vigilant, ladies and gentlemen. Perpetrators of mass shootings often display warning signs before the violence, including recent acts of threats of violence, or violating a protection order. These signals present opportunities for life-saving intervention. In fact, more than 32% of mass shootings in which four or more people were killed, a shooter exhibited at least one warning sign before the shooting. Could have been a lot of those in that 32%. It could have been prevented. Here we go. Get ready for another pictogram, ladies and gentlemen. This is people killed and wounded in mass shootings where the shooter previously displayed warning signs. 381 381 family members missing at the dinner table. 240 physically or mentally will never be the same again. The last 7 years. Another proven solution: extreme risk laws. These laws can prevent tragedies. Uh oh. Somebody, please. Let's see. Let's see. Fox says a lot has to do with schools not doing their jobs and putting a stop to the bullying in schools. Fox, you're about to hit me right where I live now. If there's one thing I can't stand, you know how that goes. And yes, like single mama 4, I totally agree. Extreme risk laws, excuse me, tongue tied. Extreme risk laws empower loved ones and law enforcement who recognize warning signs to petition a civil court to temporarily restrict a person's access to firearms when they pose a significant risk of causing harm to themselves and others. 19 states and Washington, D.C. have adopted extreme risk laws, but immense state to state variation remains in their use. For instance, in 2021, the number of extreme risk protection orders filed in Maryland per 100,000 people was nearly twice that of Connecticut and 8 times that of Virginia. Now, let me back up real quick. Let me back up real quick. Right. 19 states, right? What happened to the other 31? Oh, they think they're just getting by unscathed? Background check loopholes. 29 states covered, right? What are the other 21? Maybe it's just me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me send this shout out to a lot of the Second Amendment defenders who want to use every excuse in the book to hang on to those assault rifles. Assault weapons make mass shootings exceptionally deadly. Assault weapons are generally high-powered, semi-automatic firearms designed to fire rounds at a greater velocity than other firearms, and when combined with high-capacity magazines, enable a shooter to fire a devastating number of rounds during a short period. Over twice as many people are killed when mass shootings involve an assault weapon. What's the one thing we always hear about? Oh, oh. Let's see. Spock says we have a country that's in the midst of a huge mental health crisis, and there aren't any measures in place to prevent the mentally ill to get guns. I wonder if there might be some kind of connection. Let's see. Let me see. And here's your sign. And here's your sign. But I'm just saying. Anyway, back to this. Over twice as many people are killed when mass shootings involve an assault weapon. Mass shooting incidents with 4 or more people killed, where the shooter used an assault rifle, resulted in an average of 2.4 times more people killed and 24 times more people wounded, compared to incidents where the shooter did not use an assault rifle. Look at this. This is how many people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half with an assault rifle on average, compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 killed without one. Wounded per incident, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4 wounded average per incident with an assault rifle, compared to just 1 without one per incident on average. Still think that AR-15 is used for hunting? Yeah, it's used for hunting, all right. It's used for hunting people. Duh. More info. More than twice as many people are killed when mass shootings involve a high-capacity magazine. Of the 48 mass shootings, with 4 or more people killed from 2015 to 2022, where the magazine type was known, incidents involving high-capacity magazines, or HCMs, resulted in 2.5 times as many people killed and nearly 10 times as many total casualties as events with no HCMs. Again, take a look. High-capacity magazines, average number of people killed per incident, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 and a half. Without them, 5 on average. Number wounded per incident on average, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, 18, 21, 22 and a half. 22 and a half. Without a high capacity magazine, 2.5. Proven solution: limit access to assault weapons and high capacity magazines. Yeah, now that one's make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. Now, let's see. Proven solutions to limit access to assault weapons and high capacity magazines. Can you say easier said than done? A growing body of research shows that states can reduce gun violence, fatalities, and injuries by limiting access to assault weapons and high capacity magazines. States with restrictions on magazine size have half the rate of mass shootings as states without those restrictions. Another study estimated that mass shooting deaths were 70% less likely to occur when the federal prohibition on assault weapons and high capacity magazines was in effect. Look at that. 70% less likely to occur when the federal prohibition on assault weapons and high capacity magazines in effect. In fact, when looking at possible factors such as sociodemographics and gun laws, laws restricting magazine size were by far the strongest predictor of a state's mass shooting rate. And now, Bethea's Byte Reloaded presents the Top 10 Countdown. Top 10 Deadliest Mass Shootings. A final important subset of mass shootings, the red dots on the bottom right, represent 10 of the deadliest incidents of the last 8 years. And here you are. The worst of these, as far as I'm looking at, was that concert in Vegas. I wanted to bring that up earlier. 60 killed, 411 wounded. Yet still, that number 60, the number dead in that during that concert. Yep, you're right. We did have lost limit access to these under the Clinton administration, and we saw a lot less of these incidents. But alas, the NRA bought a certain party, and these restrictions are now undone. Of course. How you doing, Amelia? Good seeing you. Yeah, and because of the the fact that they've done away with that, I just let it lapse. Now we're in our top 10 countdown. Number 9, the nightclub shooting in Orlando, 49 killed, 53 wounded. And so, you know what? As I'm going through this, I'm going by the number by the number dead, not necessarily They're doing this by the number wounded. So this might actually have some credence here. Here, 49 killed, 53 wounded in Orlando. A store, a supermarket in El Paso, Texas, 23 and 23. A church in Sutherland Springs, 25 and 20. Multiple locations in San Bernardino, California, 14 killed, 22 wounded. We all know this one. 17 at the high school in Parkland, Florida. A bar in Waco, Texas. 9 killed, double that many wounded. A public street in Dayton, Ohio. 9 killed, 17 wounded. Another high school in Santa Fe, Texas. 10 killed, 13 wounded. An elementary school. 21 killed, 17 wounded. And every time we since Amelia's sending us shout outs and thumbs up to everyone. She's lurking in the background when time allows. We're doing just fine. We're just talking about gun violence in these United States. If you can't take out your target with the 8 with the 8 you get, perhaps go to another hobby. Okay. You have a very unpopular opinion about firearms laws? I'd love to hear it. Sorry, I know not everyone agrees on gun control. Oh, you're right about that, Blondie. But here's the question: do we want it or not? Yes, I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear it so I can respond back. But all I'm saying is this: if we're gonna keep on doing this, we're gonna keep going round and round and round. It'll be it's talk about a never ending circle. I mean, right at the top, I just read off a list of everywhere we've had a mass shooting, and with every mass shooting that goes down, we get the old standby response, which is now commonplace. Thoughts and prayers. Now, really, what's next? Oh, here's a thought, ladies and gentlemen. Hate motivated many of the deadliest mass shootings. Misogyny and white supremacist ideologies motivated many of them, and men were involved in all of the 10 deadliest. 3 of the shooters had a history of domestic violence against their girlfriends, mothers, or other women in their lives. 2 others made public misogynistic comments. This finding corroborates research findings that 96% of public mass shootings were committed by men, over half of whom were under 40. In addition to being mostly men, 9 of the 13 shooters were white. At least 2 of these shooters expressed support for white supremacist extremism before committing the mass shooting. Now, the last thing let's see. Let me see here. Let's see. Amelia says she's got to tread lightly. She's not from the USA. I don't know what it's like to live there. Not well versed on culture, history, etc. Okay. Blondie says, okay, unpopular opinion. No one cares for the future. Well, then here's Fox. He's saying the same thing I've been saying. I just want some common sense gun control. I don't want to take your Glock away, but go get a enlargement if it's so small that you need to open carry an AK-47 to compensate. I totally agree. And Blondie said mental health help is majorly lacking. That I agree. That I agree. And Blondie joins in on that one, saying if you need a military grade weapon, join the military. Here's here's another proven solution. Um, Lawmakers, this is for you. Pass the Disarm Hate Act. These patterns point to the connection between misogyny, extremism, and mass shootings. The federal law bars nearly all people with felony convictions from having guns, but many hate crimes are misdemeanors. So, if you commit violent acts and are convicted of a hate crime in 25 states, you could still be legally armed. That's a dangerous loophole. Congress should pass the Disarm Hate Act to close it. Close it. Yeah. But what about the NRA money? That's what that's what most people that's what most of us with common sense will probably think. Assault weapons were used in most of the 10 deadliest shootings. The type of gun was used in 9 of the 10 deadliest mass shootings since 2015. 8 of those 9 incidents involved an assault weapon. Take a look. Vegas, Orlando, El Paso, Sutherland Springs, San Bernardino, Uvalde, Dayton, Ohio, Parkland, Florida. All had assault, all with assault weapons. I'll give you all one guess as to which one that was. Most most of them, most of the deadliest mass shootings involve a high capacity magazine. The magazine type was known in 9 of the 10 deadliest. 8 of those 9 were with a high capacity magazine. Here we go again. Vegas, Orlando, El Paso, Sutherland Springs, San Bernardino, Uvalde, Dayton, Ohio, Parkland, Florida. Now, watch this. 5 companies manufacture guns used in multiple mass shootings. Daniel Defense, Glock, Ruger, Sig Sauer, and a lot of people's favorite tag team, Smith and Wesson. Oh, wait a minute. What we got here? The store in El Paso, the church in Sutherland Springs, San Bernardino, California, and Dayton, Ohio. Their location allows firearms. The concert in Vegas, firearms were prohibited. Same can be said for Santa Fe, Texas. You had armed guards on the premises in Parkland, Orlando, Waco, Texas, and Uvalde. Mass shooters do not target places that limit gun carrying. Many opponents of gun safety legislation claim that designating sensitive areas where guns are not allowed create easy targets for mass shootings. However, the data on the 10 deadliest mass shootings prove otherwise. 8 of the 10 occurred in locations that either allowed firearms or had armed guards present. Just 2 of the deadliest mass shootings occurred where firearms were prohibited. Uh-huh. Amelia's catching on here. Follow the money. Who are the arms manufacturers and merchants? Shareholders. Yep. Fox jumps in, saying she hit the nail on the head. You have states like Tennessee who are trying to remove congresspeople for taking a stand and asking for gun control. Yep. Oh, and a little bit of an update on that. Those two gentlemen that were expelled have been reinstated. So I guess so their fight continues. It said that this report identifies patterns in mass shootings while highlighting steps that communities and policymakers can take to prevent such incidents in the future. Funding violence intervention programs, implementing extreme risk laws, closing background check loopholes, passing disarm hate legislation, and prohibiting the sale of assault weapons and high capacity magazines are among the most significant steps to prevent these mass shootings. But the question is, will lawmakers get that? Amelia, the International Armaments Expo was held in New Zealand. New Zealand has peace treaties with the countries who they were intending on using them against. Kiwis protested for 2 years until they got kicked out. It's good to know. Here in the United States, it's like you go to work at a job site, right? And you see that sign, zero. It starts saying 0 days without incident, right? Change that sign to X number of days without a mass shooting. By this time next week, we'll go back to 0. Said, boy, do I have some stories for you about what U.S. military and arms manufacturers get up to down here. Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. All I know is from everything that I just showed you guys and everything that I've read off. And I'm gonna say this with absolute bluntness, with absolute sincerity. I'm just gonna be unapologetically me when I say this. We've got a problem. Uh-oh. Your say just passed permitless concealed carry. Oh my God. And it's gonna get worse. So I'm gonna go right back and ask the question: how long? How long? Who has to be shot and killed before things changed? I'm starting to believe now that the argument we would say that somebody in Congress would have to be shot in order to or somebody in their family would have to be shot. Let's see, 22 rifle, not against firearms themselves. I don't think. Gotta look at the bigger picture. Yeah, the bigger picture. Yeah, I'm saying this. If the argument that somebody in a member of Congress's family or a member of Senate's family, or even worse, somebody related to the President of the United States gets shot and killed. And that's the point I was bringing up, Fox. Yes. This is the point I was bringing up. Scalise was shot. And he's still and he's one of them that's still anti-gun laws. That's like that even. I mean, I'm still. Are you kidding me? I mean, the president of the United States doesn't do anything with advisors. All I can say is this: we're gonna keep on turning our news on, and every do we're gonna keep on hearing the hearing about another mass shooting. We're gonna keep on hearing more about mass shootings. The right one is gonna get shot up and done before it's all said and done. And when that happens, you can bet your bottom dollar and have change coming. They would want to make change then. Until then, sadly, we wait. We wait and we wait and we hit another mass shooting, and Fox is hitting it right again. That's the sad part. They're becoming so common that we are becoming numb to them as a country. He's right. So the question is, what is it going to take? Who has to? Oh, it's the same in New Zealand, according to Sixth Sense Amelia. Government has corruption and dodgy dealing. It's up to people to hold their elected officials to task. Ask, it's as great as that sounds. It's easier said than done, especially when you got so many people looking at these elected officials, like looking at their elected officials like, oh yeah, let them do what they want. There's nothing to see here on the one side. Or you're looking at one certain one. I don't want to mention his name here for the fact that I don't want to get sick to my stomach. But you're looking at that man like he's God. Come on now. Let's be sensible about this. Um, Eventually, the wrong person's gonna get shot. The wrong person's gonna get killed, and you're not how they gonna say it's gonna take an act of Congress to change. Mm. Like, hold on. Let's see. Kiwis are anarchistic. Protesting is our middle name. Yeah. If we were a true democracy, Fox says, without electoral college and gerrymandering, we could hold officials accountable. But our democracy is a joke. Oh, yeah, and you know what the punchline is, Fox? Turn on your local news. You'll hear about another mass shooting. Again, I say, you know how they say it's gonna take an act of Congress to change things. You watch let the wrong one get shot, let the wrong one get killed because of these mass shootings, and surely they'll finally step up and make a move. They'll finally step up to change things. But until then, this is a waiting game this is one waiting game I personally do not like playing. I want to thank Six Sense Amelia. I want to thank Arctic Fox True Crime, Single Mom of 4, Blondie, everybody that joined us on for this chat, and I'm looking forward to doing this again with you all. Let's see what we got. See, there you go. Arctic Fox True Crime coming in and helping out a fellow wordsmith. All right, guys, we're gonna try to do this all over again next time. Hopefully, same time, same place, same channel. Again, thank you all for joining me. This is the kind of thing that needs to be talked about. This is the kind of thing that this is the kind of information that needs to get out. Yeah, Fox is right. The problem with two parties that won't work. Problem is the two parties won't work together on anything. They're too busy having lightsaber wars with their. You jumped in a good time, Amelia. It was the conversation that just started hot. I just started hot, but when when you got in, you were right in the thick of it. But I'm gonna look at this list one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all at this list. And I'm gonna actually present it to you as I close this out. See this list? All the places where we've had mass shootings, and this was right in quotation marks is the response we received. And what was done after that? Not a blessed thing. All right, guys. That's all I got. I want to again thank you all so much for joining me. Let's do this again next time. Until then, you all know what to do. Keep up the good fight and bite this. Hey guys, this is The Last Outlaw. Because of you guys, Bethea's Byte is reloaded and running fine. Without you, however, the channel has no engine and does not run. So to all of you who watch the videos and have subscribed to the channel, I have 2 simple words for you. Thank you. Let me make this quick. If you enjoyed the video, or if you want to give your feedback on it, I'd like you to do the following. Like this video to get more eyes on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to click the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Share this video all over your social media. Drop your comments on this video. Good or bad, I will respond. Be sure to follow Bethea's Byte Reloaded all over social media. At Bethea's Byte Reloaded True Crime on Facebook. At EKB316 on Twitter. At Bethea's Byte Reloaded on YouTube, with and without the punctuation marks. At EB The Last Outlaw on Instagram. At King of Hearts 316 2021 on TikTok. Email me at kingofhearts316_09 at outlook.com. Hit me up on the message forum at www.betheasbyte.com. This is your home for news, opinions, debates, your voice, and justice served. This is Bethea's Byte, and it's reloaded.